undertaking the examinations. So these are the main reasons. With this few introduction, I'm happy. Already our speakers have introduced themselves. It is nice to have you, Dr. Krishnan Umachandar, who is really, you say that in Purushottam sir, to be the core uh, uh, persons to organize, to arrange for this InnoCulture, to mobilize various researchers and the important people who are heading the companies across the various companies like Hong Kong, like Radharajan sir, and also Purushottam sir, with a very good experience in the electronic side. And some of the team members are from the teaching field, though they are teaching economics and biotechnology and these IoT emerging technologies like machine learning, data analytics, and artificial intelligence, including robotics, are encroaching into all the fields. As of water resources and environment is concerned, it's a very crucial topic as of I am concerned. Actually, I worked in the state government electricity departments, in which we have got in Tamil Nadu. There are about 35 hydropower stations. As a whole in India, we have got around 250 hydropower stations, which are utilizing water for generating the hydropower. And some of them are perennial, the stations which are there in across the river, like Ganga, Yamuna, and Brahmaputra. Okay, they are having perennial water. But if you take Andhra Pradesh and states like southern states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, we have got not like water source like North India. But whatever may be this area in our country, for example, in India, being our country being an agricultural nation, we need to save water. We need to save water, and the saved water should be systematically utilized for different fields. So right now, farmers are undertaking a lot of fast and agitations in order to withstand and overcome these farm loss. Okay, so many social issues are there. So one side we are having a lot of flood, other side starved state. So we met, we are facing so many incidences, natural disasters like landslides in some areas. So especially if you take northeastern plateaus, Himalayas is there, where the avalanches and the landslides, what they do is, it really, because of landslides, huge land mass rolling from the top Himalayan ranges, when it comes to downstream area, rolling on the different plains, the water becomes so much silted. So the silted water is causing a lot of issues in the hydropower sector. See, the silted water is just in the suspended way, just rolling on into the machine. And some of the students know, some of the speakers might be knowing about the turbines. So when all the silt mixed water is hitting the turbines, it causes lot of erosion and it forms a lot of cracks. Okay, we are facing severe problems in the hydropower stations, especially in the north and northeastern plains. Though we have got a lot of, water quantity there, the quality of water, silt-laden water, is a very big issue. So what I am saying is that if there is any, right now what they are doing, they are having some mechanism called silt excluding mechanism. The silt which is available there in the water in the suspended form has to be excluded before entering into the machine area in order to drive the turbine. So what they do is they have to separate the silt which are there in the water which is going into the machine. So we have to find out some kind of sensors, where it is accumulating, how it is going, and where does it pressures are different, where negative pressures are formed. Because of negative pressures, no, the metallic parts, no, gets buckled. Gates are buckled. Now, even in Tamil Nadu, no, we have got problems because of floating debris. Okay, so this is one such issue. And other issues are, as I already told, the landslides. And about other issues, flooding. Flooding. You have to properly design the dam. And due to the aging, no, water storage structures are getting weakened. So some kind of sensors can be embedded in the. If you take this Three Gorges Dam in China, okay. So for many years, no, it's facing a lot of threat due to the heavy inflow of water. So what they have done is they have embedded lot of sensors in the Three Gorges Dam. This is one of the largest hydropower stations in the world. 18,000 megawatt power is being produced in that station. So likewise, now in India, we don't have no much sensors. So there is one dam called Tegri Dam in Uttarakhand. They have gone for introduction of stress sensors, stress meter or strain meter, and piezometers, all these things. Now, the earthquake-induced seismicity. Earthquake-induced seismicity is one of the environmental issues. So it is, no, it causes some tremors, no. All of a sudden, no, if it really happens, what it does is it causes a lot of cracks to the structure. And once there is some kind of breakages in the structure, it causes a lot of havoc. It becomes a very big environmental issue. So one can think of, the students can think of what are the practical issues that are happening in the water resources area and the environmental issues. And for those problems, some idea can be generated. And if the idea is given, now how the idea can be realized. So if these things are collected, definitely, if it is discussed in such a forum with different kinds of speakers, different background, now if they are giving their ideas, definitely we can come out with some kind of products, and that will really be helpful to solve the social problems. So already our speakers have given their self introductions. I don't want to take more time. I am very happy for the opportunity that is offered to me to conduct this webinar on behalf of our college, Erode Senguthendri College. Erode Senguthendri College is located in a place called Erode, near Perundurai. It is having around 2,500 students. The management is of local. It's a 25 years old college. Ours is an autonomous college. We have got, apart from the regular conventional engineering course, we have got courses like artificial intelligence. We have got robotics, automations, and biotechnology, and civil engineering, and computer applications, MCA, MBA, and a few other PG courses. So students of different varieties, students of different backgrounds are studying in our college. Definitely, this webinar will inspire, will kindle the interest amongst the participants, student participants, to come out with the ideas. In the days to come, we hope that, with the help of all these eminent speakers, we can go forward. With these few words, I am happy and to inaugurate this webinar. I really invite the speakers to just deliver your speech. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I invite the next participant, next speaker to take over, and as per the list, Dr. Purushothaman sir, can you please tell me the next person as per the list? Hello.
Give me a second, sir.
Can we invite
Dr. Sari Chen is the next speaker, first speaker.
yes, yes, okay, sir, okay. We invite him, sir. Please invite him, sir. His name, sir?
Professor Dr. Sari Chen
Yeah,
from University of Malaysia.
Yes, yes. On behalf of the Erode Secondary College, we warmly welcome Professor Dr. Seri, Madam. Seri Intan Mokhtar, you can
yes,
take
yes,
it,
yes, yes. You have to enable me to share my screen.
Yes, yes.
Because currently I cannot share my slides.
Purushottam sir will do
Madam, actually, I've done already.
Yeah, the host has to let me share.
Yep, I've already done it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, now you are the co-host, madam. You can go.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Nice.
part of the slide. I think it's not.
Let me try to see how it's work, because I'm not very familiar with Zoom.
You can share you can share the application.
Stop sharing. Okay. Share screen. Share screen. Share. No.
Yeah, it is shared. Okay, I think you have to zoom out. Or you have to,
I have to zoom out.
or you put it in the presentation mode. Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Now it's better. Perfect, ma'am.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on. I'll go to the first slides. Yeah. Then I'll go up. Okay. All right. Basically, I'm just going to talk a little bit on what is water versus agriculture. Can we mitigate using innovation? Basically, I think there's a lot of things that people talk about water, and now my focus is more on agriculture sector. So actually, agriculture is highly water dependent sectors. So around 70% of the water in agriculture is being used for irrigation. So I think this everybody knows. And for this reason, a lot of water that being used is, we are actually taking it from the aquifers. We are taking it from a lot of different sources. So, and agriculture also, after we have utilized the water for irrigation, it becomes a major contribution as well to pollutions, such as the runoffs, the pesticide use, and also livestock effluents. So these are the main things that is related to agriculture. That is the main issue that we want to focus on. Now, the problem statement, previously even in my talk, even in my video presentation, I have always asked the people, when you want to talk about innovation, we have to we have to observe what are the problem statements, Main problem that we are facing in agriculture at the moment is declining of water supply. So we have to face the fact there's a lot of different issues related to water supply. Sometimes the water is available, but it cannot be used, or other parts that is water that is not be able to use. And the other issue is because of decreasing in quality of water. For agriculture, we need certain standards and certain quality of water, and more water has been polluted, so there is a decrease in them. Root of the problem is because too much water is used for livestock production, irrigation system is inefficient, efficiency in our irrigation system that we have to have so many water losses and runoffs, and also the government is subsidizing crops that is basically use a lot of water. So these are a few problem statements that we might want to think about. And then possible solutions via policy. There's a lot of policies that are being implemented with regards to agriculture and use of water. People talk about sustainable use and productive agriculture sectors, yeah, where we look at strengthen and enforce existing water regulations. But a lot of the time, the policies is there, but it's very hard in terms of the implementation. And then create incentive for farmers. We have done, I think, a lot of different countries have actually create incentive for farmers to improve their water use and better manage using polluting agriculture inputs. They are trying so much to actually tell the farmers not to put too much inputs with the precision farmings and all that. These are all policies that has been done, yeah. And then we have remove policy that support excessive use of water and polluting activities. But still, a lot of water resources are still being polluted. Maybe it's not from agriculture activities, but from other activities as well. So what can we do about all this? So this is the main thing that we have to. We have got a lot of different policies. Some policies might work, some policies may not work. All right. So let's look into how can we mitigate these issues? How can we mitigate this problem using innovation, using technologies? A lot of different countries that maybe have can invest a lot of money. They are starting to use satellite and drones. I'm sorry for the spelling. Drones imaging in water management. So the use of drones and satellites to look into and then mapping a lot of different areas. How you're going to get the areas to be to manage the water. So there's one solution that people are using, but all these can be quite expensive. There are also, however, there are some cheap solutions like water pumps for irrigation. So you can see here, this is a mobile pumps that can be used to do irrigation. So there are cheaper solutions and there are more expensive solutions that people want. It's up to people who wants to use it. Now also there's a lot of innovation with regards to IoT, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence in water management, especially when you have a system or agriculture system indoors, or we can see a factory of agriculture factory where we have issues with climate change, and then we have the control environments. And in this control environment, usually they use IoT and artificial intelligence to everything that is being synchronized and is done in such a way that crops now, especially horticulture, the vegetables are actually being produced in a very small area, but the yields can be very high. I think a lot of, even in India now, they have gone into these vertical farmings and also horticultures and a lot of different types of farmings, yeah, using IoT and internet. Now, how did they actually use this? The technology behind this actually the digital sensors. They developed a lot of digital sensors. In Japan, for example, they have developed so many digital sensors that the sensors are being used to monitor each and different needs of the plants. So these are some of the things that has been done before, and is ongoing process. So maybe perhaps some students might want to look into innovation with regards to this. Now, another aspect, the biological aspect as well, we are looking at the crop breeders. The crop breeders, the plant breeders, we are looking at seeds that have very high value seeds. So high value seeds that are more resistant to droughts, for example. So this could be this may be quite a long solutions, because breeding of seeds could take years, but this should start somewhere, or it has to look into the future, perhaps more and more research and innovation and money being spent into looking into how can we improve the seeds in terms of the biological aspects of breeding. So we have different agriculture, we have mechanicals aspects, we have what we call it management aspect, we have policy aspects. So this is another, I would like to look at this. This is very simple. What they use is actually, this is used in Israel, Tel Aviv universities, where they actually use tray to collect dew. So basically the trays is very simple. They put it on the grounds and then it collected dew from air for plant watering. So these are some simple innovation that perhaps can be thought about and then being utilized, because we have to look into all sort of different innovation to actually solve the issues with regard to water for agriculture usage. Now, this is very interesting and it looks quite funny as well. So why not, keep fit while you are actually irrigating the agriculture land? So this is one innovation where you have to do your cycle. You cycle to actually exercise at the same time. You use this to pump the water into the irrigation system. Okay, so this is one ways of doing things. All right. Another simple, yet I would say very good solution for the ladies, the farmers in Africa, where they actually somebody has invented cheap rolling drums, where they have to carry waters. I think this also in India also they have this maybe perhaps this kind of system where they have to carry water. So the water can, if you imagine how much water that a person and a woman can carry, but using this simple technology, they can, I'm sure that it could be about 50 liters, perhaps, maybe even 100 liters of water that can be carried easily by these women. They just roll it down so that they can actually water their plants. So these are very simple technologies. It doesn't need satellite imaging. It doesn't need, I would say, any kind of, but it addresses the issue. It addressed this issue that the woman is not able to carry so much water at one time. So imagine if this woman, they have to plant maybe perhaps 1 acre of land, how many times do they have to go to water resources in order for them to actually carry that much water? So these are the things that I would say that I would like to trigger some of the ideas from the young generation. See, you have to observe what really the problems on the field. If you are in trying to create any kind of innovation with regards to agriculture, the observation must be there. You need to address this kind of issue. This is very simple. So the women are more, they are not burdened with carrying so much water. They can roll the water and then they can use. Maybe they can also use it for household usage because not many places have water supply. Okay, so that's the last picture that I want to show, and this is my last slides. So I would say that the simple solution is the best. Observe what the farmers need and also how much they can afford. This is another thing. Okay, if you created for industries, for large multi-million industries, perhaps they can invest in vertical farming, they can invest in plant factories, they can invest in IoT and all that. But for farmers, how much money they can actually afford, how much money they can spend to actually have this innovation, this simple innovation that they can use in their daily life that can actually help them to improve their agriculture practices. A very expensive solution will make the price of the crops and livestock increase, and at the end will create new problems for the whole population. This, remember what we have created, the innovation that we created, if it's going to be applied in agriculture, it will become, at the end of the day, it will circle back to us, because we will become the consumers as well, because we need food. Yeah, we will need the vegetables, we will buy the fruits. So if the price of the crops and livestock increases because of the application of very expensive technology, at the end of the day, the cycles become, at the end, the consumers will also suffer. And the whole system is not going to work because the farmers is not able to sell as well. So these are the things, the message that I really want to deliver to the young generation who perhaps would be interested to innovate anything with regard to agriculture. Observe, get a simple solution, see how much it costs, because at the end of the day, if all this technology contributed to the price increase in agriculture produce, at the end of the day, the whole populations, the whole cycle will actually suffer. So that's it from me. Thank you so much.
Nice, interesting.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam. Actually, it has been, it's a very good presentation. And I think I agree with you that the simple solution is the best solution. And I think you have shown quite a lot of, like how people innovate. And I think students can use this as an example. And, like these are not the things, she is not asking the students to do this, but I think these are the examples how you can innovate.
So if there's any questions, I'm happy to
Yeah.
answer any questions, just one or two, or maybe anybody wants to make any comments, because this is not really, agriculture is not really, water activities management is not really my field, but I observe what should be there. And then I'm just giving some kind of thoughts for people. Before they actually innovate anything, they have to really think about this kind of issues.
You have given a lot of ideas, madam. Definitely, we will ask our students to get in touch with you, madam. Yeah, whatever the things they are asking, we connect them to you. We pass it on to you. We want your associations with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker, sir, we can introduce.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think we invite Dr. Giovanna Del Cardio, University of Naples, Italy, to present her talk. Please welcome, madam.
Yes, thank you very much. And can you allow me to share the screen, because they say that the
Yeah, sure, I'll do now.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, now I can share. Thank you. And today I'm glad to share with you this topic, because we think that emerging technologies are important also in the field of healthcare. And the focus today is on specific target of senior citizens into context. The context of in the home context or in the senior living facilities. Why? Because the aging population has grown significantly over the last 30 years. Indeed,
Excuse me, madam. You can make your full screen so that we can view the screen fully.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, you see in
F5, Fabian. Sorry, Giovanna.
bottom right, do you see there's a, you go to the
Like
bottom.
Yeah, she's already.
Okay, thank
Perfect.
you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Indeed, in 2019, the number of individuals who are 65 years old or older has surpassed 7,000 million, and it is expecting to double by 2015. And there are different needs of senior citizens. Indeed, after we are going to cluster these specific needs that goes from daily activities to social needs to spiritual or others, but also there are changing in the family structures. So probably in the near future, there will be the necessity to use robotics for these kind of targets. And of course, if we see the context of senior living facilities, there are critical shortages for caregivers, and there are critical points for human resources. So the use of artificial intelligence will be one of the most emerging topic in this field. What we try to do today is to give a focus on artificial intelligence in senior living facilities or home context according to perspective of the end users. Because in the past we have researches and also managerial practices on the side of doctors or on the supplier sides, but we don't know too much on how and whether the senior would like to use a robot in his home or in the senior living context. So we are going to explore the acceptance of the elderly as regards, for example, a robot. And of course, if we clusterize the needs of the elderly, for example, clinical needs or daily routine support, healthcare services, social service, or for example, a reminder to take a medicine. Of course, we can use artificial intelligence devices or robots in different ways. Why the focus is on the specific topic? Because sometimes there is a confusion between technologies and artificial and smart technologies. So sometimes literature, but also the word of senior living facilities or the family don't know how easily is to use a robot, and that's why we say that there are antecedents of acceptance of a robot. For example, if we don't know how to use a robot, there is a pre-stage. There is the stage where the elderly can meet the robot, and there is the stage of the experience where the elderly can really experience the robot. What we try to do is to find the factors that influence the use and the acceptance of artificial intelligence devices such as robots, and what is the weight of these factors. So we found out that there are important factors that positively influence or sometimes negatively influence the acceptance of a robot. For example, there are subcomponents that are important, such as the anthropomorphism or hedonism, if the elderly interact and really feel good with the robot. All the social gratification is one aspect of the acceptance, as well as the social influence, how the family or the other members of the senior living facilities or other members of the families or other caregivers can influence the use of the robot. There is also the symbolic gratification, because of course nowadays artificial intelligence devices are also a symbolic icon, and of course trust, because an elderly can use a robot if he trusts the robot itself. And as regards the effort expectancy and the performance expectancy, of course, there will be a strong interest on these two components, because they really would like to know if these technologies are difficult or not to understand and to use. And of course, we are talking about a robot. So in terms of substituting sometimes the human aspect, so it is important as regards the acceptance to recall the emotion and the willingness to use, and the objection to use is the outcome of all these antecedents. And here I'm going to show you, we did a patchwork with the robot. It is Romeo. Just to give you some examples how this robot can help and support a senior citizen in different activities of the day, from the social one. For example, here Romeo is playing cards, or for example in daily routines such as brushing the hairs, or if an elderly as regard the healthcare is on the wheelchair, Romeo can support the elderly, as well as in reminding the daily activities, in paying the bills, or adding stuff into the shopping list, or advising the elderly that the family is coming to visit next Sunday, something like this. And we are doing a strong research about this. And next time I'm going to show you if the senior citizens are going to accept this kind of robotics in their own context and in the senior living facilities. Thank you for the attention, and any kind of questions are really welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jovan.
Thank you.
Very interesting one. It's a very interesting and thought-provoking one, madam. It's very useful. Thank you. Definitely place. Some of the students who study artificial intelligence course, robotics course, if they are not available, definitely they are using this thought-provoking, emerging technologies. Hope to have you as one of the speaker in one of our forthcoming international conference, madam. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next speaker, sir. Next speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. Actually, I think it has been very good insights on, like what is happening, and especially in taking care of the elderly population. Next, we invite Mr. Shankar Subramaniam, CEO of Falcon Investment Singapore. Welcome, sir, and he is going to talk about global investment opportunity in water resources and management. Please welcome Ms. Shankar.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Actually, that I'm not an expert in the technology side, but at the same time, I would like to give you the perspective of and then importance of these emerging technology. I'll share.
Yeah, your video also you can open, so we can see you also.
Okay. Screen broadcast. Zoom start broadcast.
No problem. You can go ahead on the presentation.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to take the slide. Scan, start video.
Sorry to intervene. Actually, we have Purushottam sir. Can you please tell me? Can you tell us what's the time left, sir, for this program? How many more minutes we have? Purushottam sir.
Okay, sorry about it. Okay, I'm talking to myself. Okay.
What's the time left so far, sir? So that we can tell the speakers to
Yeah, I think we'll
restrict to the time.
try to be within like 10 minutes for each speaker. We have 3 more speakers after Mr. Shankar.
So they have to restrict. No, you can tell the time. How much they can.
Yeah, we'll go for about like, okay, less than 10 minutes will be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, Purushottam, this one, I share devices audio is on. Where is this?
You want me to share? Actually, you can send to me, then I can share.
Okay. Now I got it. Share content. Okay, fine.
Now we can see your video, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so maybe for the next speaker as well, actually, you could just I'll leave my email ID so you can send a presentation in case actually if you want to cut down.
Fine.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I think you can see that. No?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to touch upon the issues and relating and how it is, where is that one can concentrate. But of course, all the veterans and experts, they are giving you actual implementable ideas. But whereas I would like to focus more on the where one has to contract or where one has to concentrate because of the need of an hour. That is what is my role. And apart from that, where how one of these students can become an entrepreneur. I think some of them, I expect to see them after 10 years. Probably some of them can be a billionaire also. This is what is my wish, and then I want them to become like that. My wishes for that. Okay. If you see this slide, you see we see the various issues on the water, and including, you are in Tamil Nadu, there is a Kaveri River dispute, and then Nile River, longest Nile River dispute, and then Yemen. All this is what it shows that the water is becoming very, very important, and then everyone is going to fight for the water. And it is going to be more intensified going forward, maybe in a couple of decades or few more decades also. So this is where the import. So that is where our topic is also very important and relevant to our today's context. And when it move on to these slides, I think everybody knows it's not that new. I'm going to talk about, and whatever the water resources available, we are hardly it is available for less than a percentage is available for the usage. And this slide is very important because in you are looking at around 3-4 decades later. Now, if you see the red color countries and all, they are going to see the acute water scarcity. And on the left hand side, I mentioned about economic scarcity, and then right hand side physical water scarcity. It's because some countries have the physical water, but they don't have economic resources to convert that for usability. Some of them have economically, they're okay, but it is not available. For example, Middle East, and they are wealthy, but physical water is not at all available. So, or some of the countries are both combined together, like Africa and all. If you look at it, this is where the issue is all about, and across the globe. But by 2040, you see this is what is the situation is for. If you look at the consumption plan, I think previous speaker also touched upon 70% is the agriculture is 70% of the whatever the available water where personal use is only, if it is 1, and then agriculture will be something like 8, and industry is like 3 or something like that. Like less than a high single digit is used for the human being users, and the industries, which uses 22 to 23%, and the rest agriculture and food products consume 70%. This is where one has to focus. This is what entire world is looking at it. This is where a lot of new technologies also coming in agriculture side, because there is a wastage is also there, and the consumption anyway. So one thing which we need to understand is consumption. No, we cannot stop, and then the population is increased and the lifestyle is changes. That one cannot stop. But what is that we can do is we can come out with a technology where we can conserve these whatever the resources, and so that it can be used later. These slides, it also brings about social side of it also. See, what happens here is in normally in any industries or anything, you have a raw material cost. So you follow it up, which is more critical, and then you can try to control. Whereas in the case of water, it's become everyone's it's a right kind of a thing. So the water is available. They don't bother about. They don't even account it for the what is being wasted. Assuming if you monetize the water, probably the innovation can be much faster. This is what is my personal view. So one has to push really, put a tag on the money tag on the water, and see where we stand, the production cost, or even agricultural product. Then what happens here? It becomes really important for one has to go for the emerging technologies to see that water is controlled. And of these two in this slide, if you look at agriculture, that of course, agriculture and industry, both of them are having a 40%. So what is that 40%? I'm saying that we are wasting water 40%. But after the usage, we are wasting 40% of water. That is because of inefficient irrigation. So those days, we used to have sprinkler, just to spread the water across the field. What happens is after that it get evaporated, or some of them it goes wasted. These kind of, and then system inefficiency. I think there are a lot of things are changing, but 40% of the water still is being wasted. So any ideas, any technology, if the students can concentrate on these areas, very simplistic idea like that our previous speaker also talked about, simple ideas about it. The simple ideas one can implement, and also while implementing simple ideas, one has to visualize whether it can be scalable for the local use, and then it can be scalable for the multiple user within country, within states, within country, and then it can be outside of the country also. This is how it should be. One has to think about those things. When you come to the industry side, there, especially on the power side, if you look at it, the coolant, water is used as a coolant, for the power. Water is used as a coolant. So that consumes a lot of wastage, and water is getting wasted. So this eventually, because of this eventually, the has to go away, and that is where the renewable energy technologies involved is coming. Wherein if you use the wind energy, the wastage of water is absolutely nil, and then if you use other technologies, I think it can be moderated. And of course, the power usage of power, as earlier I said, we cannot stop using the power. So that we should not focus on reducing the power, and I think the power has to be generated, consumption has to be there, but only thing we have to modify in such a way that water is not wasted. And this is something interesting which I saw, which is such a simple thing. Like our even earlier speaker also talking about the cattle feed and all, how much it consumes water and everything. So if you're talking about a beef burger and Beyond Burger, some of the students they know about this, some of the students may not be knowing about. Beyond Burger is a US listed company, and the beef burger, or one patties of beef burger, it consumes so much of water. If you complete the supply chain from the beginning to end, it consumes so much of water. So this company has replaced this beef burger into Beyond Burger, and they replaced it, but you have the similar taste. But water, it's they saved at least 90, almost close to 100% water is being saved. The other one is you are talking about the drip irrigation. You can talk about vertical irrigation, so many other things. These are all simple solutions, but it is very effective in terms of saving the water. So So if you look at if you look at overall perspective, what is that? Where is that? What the students can look at the solution. One is on the renewable energy sector, wherein even if you have small ideas which can support the power generation, or and also in the agriculture side, saving the water, conserving the water, way of production, way of irrigation. These areas, any technology can be used. That will definitely, and is going to, and it has to be implementable. That is going to be the game changer for the future. This probably, I think, because I'm an investment guy, I thought that this slide I just try to explain. This is kind of a graph where in a I monetized this. Actually, some of the companies get are into this water fund. This is for water fund. They've invested. Those who have invested in this fund, this particular fund has given you a return of something like a 15% compounded growth kind of a thing. If this be the case, I want to encourage these students to come with an idea and provide the investment opportunity for those who wants to invest. And also by that process, they can also prosper, and then the investors also can. They are looking at these opportunities because this kind of a growth, it's a phenomenal 15% compounded growth within this sector, which can give you. So one can even focus more into this, and then they can also prosper. That is what I would like to give you the whole perspective, and then where you need to concentrate. Thank you so much.
So the next speaker, thank you, sir. You have given a very good inputs and the deep insights. We hope that definitely you are taken up by the students, the audience, coming out with new ideas inside of the area of agriculture, the area of industries, so on and so forth. Thank you, sir. The next speaker is Dr. Fabiana Seppi. Fabiana Seppi.
Yes, here I am. Good evening, everyone. Okay, can I share my screen, please?
Yes.
Yeah, now you are a co-host, madam. You can share this.
Are you able to see?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening once again. I'm Fabiana Siepe, PhD in management. I'm from the Department of Economics Management Institution in University of Naples Federico II. And today I'm very glad to be here with you to discuss about the effects of artificial intelligence Industry 4.0 and robotics to give some insights from the healthcare industry. We first, just one second, because I would like to go on. Okay. As we know, the pandemic of coronavirus disease 2019 has spread all over the world. And this scenario, rapid development of automated diagnostic systems based on artificial intelligence and machine learning not only can contribute to increase the diagnostic accuracy and speed, but will also protect healthcare workers by decreasing their contacts with the COVID-19 patients. So this figure starts from the data collection, from COVID-19 COVID data collection, and data regards not just epidemiological data, but also clinical and genetic ones. This data should be managed and processed through artificial intelligence and both machine and deep learning to lead to prevention, therapeutics, hospital operation, diagnosis, and so on. This is an overview of common artificial intelligence methods where machine learning constitutes a great portion. The development of deep learning, a subset of machine learning, has contributed significantly to improve the power and capabilities of recent artificial intelligence applications. So a number of deep learning-based convolutional neural network architectures such as LetNet, AlexNet, GoogleNet, Visual Geometry Group, Net, and ResNet have been proposed and applied successfully in different areas with special reference to the computer vision domain. Other techniques such as autoencoders and recurrent neural networks are crucial components of many prominent natural language processing tools. So the deep learning methods in particular and artificial intelligence in general may just be employed to create useful application to deal with the different aspects of COVID-19 pandemics. So in addition to general automation solutions such as machine or deep learning, but also to 3D printing face shields, face masks, oxygen masks, Google's and Exam's gloves, there is a space for using specialized intelligent robotic and wearable systems to support and improve the functioning of healthcare system. So as we can see in this slide, the applications of robotics and automation in healthcare and allied areas is increasing day by day. So the International Federation of Robots predicts an ever-increasing trend in the demand of medical robots within the coming years, with an estimation of 9.1 billion USD market by 2022. Here we can see just some key requirements of robotics in healthcare. So what are the key requirements? First of all, kinematics and dynamics. So robots are used in different tasks ranging from surgical and rehabilitation to service robots. An example is flex picker, like the image I put inside. Then we have control and dexterity. So medical robots use state-of-the-art technology to carry out different cleaning, sterilization, transporting, nursing, rehabilitation, and surgical application. And sterilization. So robots designed for use in healthcare and medicine have stringent cleaning requirements. They must be free of germs and microbes, which can spread communicable and contagious disease to other patients. Then operator safety is another key requirement, because this is one of the fundamental requirements in medical robotics, as the operator safety is very important while handling a robot in the hospital premises. Then we have the ease of handling and maintenance. So robots in hospitals are designed to be operated by medical technicians, medical doctors, and staff without engineering knowledge and troubleshooting skills. The last one is related to the cost. So since healthcare robotic solutions are needed at a large scale, they must be cost effective for easy installation and widespread availability throughout the world. Here we have some a classification of robot utilization in healthcare. So these classifications are designated such as receptionist robot area, nursery robots in hospital area, ambulance robot area, telemedicine, hospital service robot area, cleaning robot area, spraying, disinfection, surgical, radiologist, rehabilitation, and outdoor delivery robot area. Here we have just some examples. The most important thing is the consideration of the sustainable robotic development. So strategies toward eco-friendly robotics include the different pathways from material approaches to optimized design and fabrication. The optimal life cycle of a robot is a closed loop, which targets robotic components from actuation to energy supply. In contrast to standardized industrial robots that are already integrated in reselling loops, bio-inspired robots robotics, we find different application in different ecological niches. So possible example, we can derive possible example from the healthcare machines. Then we have some points I would like to share with you. The first one is that the healthcare needs a pathfinder solution which the investment and risk of artificial intelligence and robotics application are small. Then there is a need to recognize that both wearable and robotic technologies combined with artificial intelligence and of course machine intelligence have excellent potential for meeting the healthcare system's needs for the safer, more robust, and more efficient delivery of care to everyone. And a world affected by climate change and prevalent waste production demands for environmental impact as a key metric of technological innovation, of course, including robotics. However, there are a number of exciting advances in robotics in recent years, which points to a fruitful future. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shall we continue? So this nice Fabiana's happy on behalf of the speakers and the participants. Extend our sincere thanks for the in-depth information that you gave on possibilities of replacing robots and artificial intelligence in the field of this present, challenge, COVID challenge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, next speaker, Lagavadin sir, are you ready? Sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, Pushottam sir, we can go. We can take another 10 minutes, sir, so that we can keep Dr. Krishnan sir tomorrow. Shall we?
Yeah, please proceed. Okay, yeah.
Just now the time is
Some other day, no issues.
7:30 here in Indian Standard Time. Can we hear? We can have our Chalaran sir as the last speaker.
Yes, sir. No problem. I will also
We can
make
have
it short.
our Dr. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are most welcome. So I could see Dr. Kalidajan also here with us right now. He has joined the program. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Oh, okay, you're most welcome, sir. Dr. Kalidajan, sir. You can just take over the class now. Take over the speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Laga, please proceed.
Okay, sir. I don't have any presentation to make. I'm just only talking. So what I want to tell the students, there are problems around you which need a solution. You can develop that as a business. So that's what I'm trying to tell the students. And basically, I would like to give as my story as an example. Like, I'm a mechanical engineer. And during our time, there is no proper computer-related courses or computer education is available. There was a IIM professor visiting our college and introducing us about the photon programming, which is in our academic area. So we continue to go to the professor during the weekend to Kadalur to learn about the programming and basics of computers and things. And then in '89, I got a job and I come to Hong Kong. And the situation at that time in Hong Kong is there are thousands of Indian import-export trading companies who had good business, who had money, who want to do computerization, but they don't want to do with Chinese. And I have tried with one of those trading companies with whatever I have learned so far, try to provide a solution for their trading business to make documents and accounts, and they are happy. So through that, they have introduced to more customers. There are thousands of Indian trading company was there in Hong Kong that time. Almost I have visited all of them. And we have developed a solution, what is needed by the market. And then we have expanded to 50 to 100 companies, and those companies have been feeding us and taking care of all their our income and resources, and all this has been going on in the last 30 years. What I mean to say is the students, any of the water resources or environment, any kind of problem, even in elderly and all this kind of things, they can find an area and make their technologies, they don't have to learn all the technologies, AI or blockchain or any one particular area. They can spend time to learn those technologies and then find a problem in the society, and using their knowledge of the new technology, they can find a solution. They can use this international expert help and resources and knowledge and the guidance, and even they can take investment from Shankasa and those kind of market investment partners, and they can develop that as a business. And once they can solve a problem in Erode or somewhere in Tamil Nadu, and the same problem and same solution can be expanded around India as well as around the world. And we encourage students to come up with innovative ideas and solutions which can be taken around the world and made them millionaires in the future. We wish all the best for the students. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Baldan, sir, we had at the beginning, just introduce ourselves. Tomorrow we are going to speak. And Dr. Krishna also, we are keeping him pending for tomorrow's session. And if possible, if the time is not sufficient tomorrow, we are planning to have another session. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
So, really, I invite our HOD, head of the department of civil engineering department, Dr. Gopala Krishnan, to give vote of thanks. Over to Dr. Gopala Krishnan, sir. Dr. Gopala Krishnan, you can unmute,
Yeah, there's one Gopalakrishnan, HOD Civil.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he has to give the vote of thanks. Ask him to give the vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yes, please.
So, yeah, he's coming. Gopala Krishnan, sir, you can speak now.
Can unmute and
Please
speak.
to unmute also.
Unmute.
Yeah.
You have to unmute.
Sir, are you audible, sir?
Yeah,
Yes,
audible
yes,
now,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it's gives me great pleasure in proposing the vote of thanks for the InnoCulture Ideation Contest 2021 and emerging technologies in water resource and environment. The webinar series is a useful one for the young budding engineers. It is the time to propose the vote of thanks. It's my privilege to thank Seri Intern Mokhtar sir, Krishnan Umachandran sir, Chitram Purushottaman sir, and our invitee Tilakraj sir, who visited our institution past years, and Shankar Ramachandran sir as a co-host, and our Erode Sengundar, Academic Council member and Board of Studies member, Dr. Kalirajan sir from L&T Constructions, and another chairperson, Glowona Dell, and other participants from different parts of the world who attended today's this idea contest. I thank once again all for you this wonderful webinar, and we motivate our students to take part in this to develop a contest in the forthcoming years. I thank our Dean Director, Dr. Christian Johnson sir, who arranged this webinar, to be a fruitful one. Once again, I thank you all, and I thank the participants from our college and from different spots of Tamil Nadu and other region to take part in this webinar series 1. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank
I add to this. I add to this vote of thanks. If you concluding remarks, sir, as of the
Yes.
speakers are concerned, definitely they have given an extensive idea. But
Yes,
the
sir.
only thing is that I hope